Friend, where are you? Found you hiding here in the near clear blue.
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, and even the United States government.
Hey, the Pro Show is on.
Awesome! Let's turn it on.
Guys? Where'd you go?
Morty, let's check in on Ryan Johnson's new trilogy.
Okay.
I bypassed the compressor.
What did you do, Ray?
Son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Now, he was okay, after 6-7 weeks. Okay? They get over it. Kids are resilient like that.
Yeah. I hate it.
It's the standard, what would George do?
I don't want you here.
So sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Fly, you fools!
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Weird.
Stay away from liquor, kids.
I have always liked Cowabunga.
Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Force will be with you, always.
That's how winning is done.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's what she said.
I am Batman.
If I won tonight, I would come home and we'd celebrate. Well, I'm coming home, we're celebrating. God bless you all.
Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become.
It's scooping time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to Provision 3D.
Alright everyone, put on your opera glasses.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You know that you've been taught the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yes, Pa.
Autobots, roll out.
I'm bringing the party to you.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money?
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
Chicken jockey.
All right, it's time to go to school, son. Come on, get your hands up, man.
Are you okay?
They'll never take our freedom.
From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee to the Rockies in the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo woo indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another fun-filled Wednesday. Hump Day is here, and we're humping right along and letting you know. I can't even get through it. We're humping and jumping.
Rephrase that.
Humping and jumping and bumping and thumping all along and just getting... Can we... I give up. Let's talk about peanut butter and banana sandwiches instead and how it killed Elvis.
I'm apparently having a much better Wednesday than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I love it. All right, folks, welcome back. We're a little bit silly tonight because, good Lordy, we've been doing this a long time. Marv is the man.
Day.
Marathon Marv. Marv, tell us your schedule, or as the Brits would say tonight, tell us your schedule, please.
Well, I woke up at 5 a.m. to work out and then did some, articles and then did Valiant's show at 8 and then did my show at 10 and then Midnight's Edge in the morning at 12, that Park Place at 2, and now here we are.
No, wait a minute. Did you go on Vash's podcast too?
No. I had to actually get some website.
How many articles did you do today?
6.
This is
I think
wild man.
5 or 6. Yeah.
Wild man of Yavin is going to have to give up the wild man status for you today. I mean, that is a Marathon Marv kind of hump day.
Oh, and I got 3 videos out. The third of which is not doing so hot. So if you like
3
God of
videos.
War, check it out.
3 videos. All right, folks. So count the streams, Marv. How many streams?
Valiant, mine, Midnight's Edge. This will be my 5th stream of the day.
5th show of the day, and if this one goes 2 hours, how many hours of streaming?
I'd rather not think about that. Not quite 10 because my show was only an hour.
Okay. Plus 5 articles, plus 3 videos.
Yeah.
So, folks, if we're loopy tonight, just know it's okay for one evening, okay? Because we've been covering Disney earnings the entire day, and Disney jumped at the last second. I could explain it, but I want to give financial advice. Disney jumped at the last minute, not like big. I mean, they're at 101. They dipped below 100 several times today, and then it just like shot up all of a sudden. And I could explain that to you. I think it's mostly automated, but I don't want to give financial advice, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just say Disney is not where they need to be. They're still down about 50% from their high 5 years ago. We called that. It was one of the most boring earnings calls I have ever sat through. I hate it for Valiant because it used to be must-watch TV. I hope it is again, but geez Louise. 8 a.m. and what? Just awful.
Yeah, the production value has gotten so much better. You can hear what they say now. It's not like Bob Iger, who was coming out of a Burger King drive-through speaker, but like you're hearing, they're not saying anything. Like he didn't even hype any. He didn't even hype anything like coming up, except for Doomsday.
That used to be the way it is. Now it's word salad. Now it's Josh Tomorrow. Could you tell us, please, what do you think about Walt Disney World attendance in the past quarter? Well, Walt was a big fan of attendance, and ever since then, we've been fans of attendance as well. We're noticing that our data sets are going through a paradigm shift right now in the attention economy. And as a result of that paradigm shift in our data sets in the attention economy, we do believe that we're reaching out to price non-sensitive consumers in their search for something to do in the next few years when it comes to leisure activities.
You got to get the word storytelling and shape language into that, and you'll be perfect.
And a little bit of magic. Woo! It was bad. It was so bad that when people asked him questions, he was on the verge of being like, Webster's dictionary defines the, whoa.
Theme park has.
Yeah, theme park has a place of joy.
After I look it up on Wikipedia.
Right. Folks, let's look up your super chats because you're the superstars of the show. You make everything go, and we know it. Juliet, who does more than just super chats, a mod extraordinaire for 2 Morning Pro, Panel, and Pro Rights. It feels good to be pro right around here. Mark Fields for 199, another spectacular fella, says offering more positive vibes. Thank you, Mark. And those vibes right back at you. Jim Butler for 5. To refer back to this morning's show on the Batcave 2, it was also used on V, the final battle, or 5, the final battle. So, Lou, I was making that joke. I was saying the Batcave was only ever the Batcave. I know it's been used in all kinds of things, but you made a reference then to a space monster and a song that's about that. Is that right?
Yeah. Frank Zappa has a song called Cheapness, Cheepnis, which is all about cheap horror movies. And he cites that particular one because it's famous for the fact that when the monster emerges from the cave, you can see a 2x4 in the lower part of the frame pushing this thing out of the cave. And also that because it was a black and white film, they used chocolate sauce for blood, and somebody set the pressure too high. When Peter Graves, who's the hero of the film, burns its eyes out with a blowtorch, an old-fashioned 1950s, 60s blowtorch, it sprayed the entire camera crew, including ruining a Mitchell BNC, with chocolate sauce. So it's kind of a famous Bronson Canyon moment. And you can go there today, by the way. Anybody can. It's in Griffith Park. And check it out. I actually made a movie there once, and I was a student filmmaker. Yeah, it's
kind of like the lake that they used for the Andy Griffith Show intro. Apparently, that's used for all kinds of things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Cape Canaveral. This has been posted up. Lauren, did you put this up there?
Yeah, he was given the actual movie title, so I thought
there it is. It conquered the world. That's it.
Awesome, fantastic. Thank you, Cape.
And obviously, it didn't. It conquered the chocolate sauce, but that was about it.
I love all the tricks that people use back when it was black and white. Chocolate sauce for blood. I've heard that on the set of Home Alone that they made potato flake angels instead of snow angels because the falling snow outside the window in the final scene is like tons and tons and tons of potato flakes.
Speaking of music, do you guys remember back when movies were releasing in the early 2000s? There was always like a specific song that was like assigned to the movie. Like the first, I was just thinking about it with the Spider-Man movies because I was thinking about Brand New Day, and I was like, the first Raimi Spider-Man had that. And they say that a hero will save us. Not and then Spider-Man 2 had that one that was like, I see your face with every punch I take, and I'm like, they don't do that anymore. Movies don't get songs anymore.
You know why? Because back then they were doing soundtracks on CDs. And they had to have one good song that would sell the soundtrack CD. And now that people don't buy CDs, you buy individual stuff. You might every once in a while see something like whatever T Swift did with the latest Toy Story. But for the most part, they just don't do that anymore. They don't do it. And can you imagine if you bought the soundtrack to the Odyssey and sat there and listened to people bang on sheets of metal?
You mean the famous oral assault?
It's an assault, all right.
Well, I mentioned it in a postscript to the latest Lou's Views that somebody said it was an oral, A-U-R-A-L, assault, and the brilliant AI subtitler made it O-R-A-L.
Watch out for that kind of assault.
To which I replied, at least it wasn't rectal, so I guess that's,
Jim Butler for 2, that was supposed to say Batcave without the 2. We got it, Jim, don't worry. And then Jay, the letter of the day is Jay, 1,000 jewels for a trophy cake. Like Princess Peach just dropped on by and gave us the old cake. Marv, we've had that cake before at the Toadstool Cafe.
We had you, me, and Lauren. We had that cake, and it was good, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. Pretty decent. Kaylee out for 5.
I love to bake it, and I'll never have that recipe again. Oh no!
I sent you a picture of that thing that I had at Universal this past weekend.
Yes,
it's a bread cone with mac and cheese and buffalo chicken in it, and it was incredible. And it wasn't even at Epic; it was at Islands of Adventure.
It looked phenomenal. Kayla out for 5. China likes cultures. Spider-Man. Oh, let me redo that. China likes cultures. Spider-Man. Guessing it will do another 50% of that international. More in rest of run. Crazy holding 40-day domestic. 7 views for me. So that's our first story up on the docket, folks. We're going to talk about Spider-Man breaking brand new records. Get ready. This Spidey has legs. Day Tripper. 100 joules gives us a high five. High five right back at you. And then Jay, the letter of the day for 5, finishing donating plasma. I hope it's from the blood, not some sort of red-hot energy source that's brighter than the sun. Then driving home, limited interaction till I get home. Hello, Pro, Marv, Lauren, and Mr. Ghost. Well, Jay, in all seriousness, thank you for donating and taking care of folks. That's very kind of you, and we hope that you recover well. And then Packing Protons 420 El 20 from Packing Protons. Thank you, Packing. Going over the 400 mark right now across Tickety Talks, Instagrammies, GeoCities, YouTube, and X. And when we get things like this 20, it really helps us keep the lights on. Aftershave the Lorne. New $1,000 challenge. Possible. 1. Jonas reveals himself on camera. 2. Steve destroys the Wilton puppet in a horrible way in The Death of Wilton.
I like where this is going.
You'll notice I full screened you because I knew you were going to like where this is going.
Can anyone donate to that?
Wait a minute. So we as a panel are going to donate to destroying Wilton?
I mean,
I kind of like it.
I could think of no better cause.
I kind of like this idea. Hang on a second.
Cleaning up the airwaves.
Is Steve live at this time? Somebody check for me real quick. See if Steve is live.
I mean, who would know?
Shut up.
Is he live or is he Memorex?
The last time I needed to hide something, I just put it on his live stream.
Okay. You're awful. All right, let's see. I'm looking right now. He is not live right now. Okay, hang on a second. Hang on.
Sending a signal to the Great White North.
Well, as we do this, let's bring in Derek Anderson. DA is here with us. Derek, welcome aboard, buddy.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. Derek, we're going to call. You can see Packing Protons is offering to pay us $1,000 if we're willing to destroy the Wilton puppet. So I'm going to call Steve and see what he thinks about this.
I like it.
Let's see here. I don't have how do I do this with? Well, that's odd.
No one's ever known. I just imagine Steve having like the red phone when like Batman when Pro calls.
It's calling. Hang on.
Okay. Calling Canada.
I've reached the voicemail box.
Well, we better not play that.
If it was about to read his phone number aloud, that would have just been the perfect end to a perfect day.
Oh, we got more on the way. Packing, we'll find out. Will Steve destroy? Will we throw him? I don't know. Do we throw him in a baler? Do we run him over with a lawnmower? What do we do?
How does he come back though?
Yeah, we just make another one. I mean,
I'm surprised you're worried about that part.
For $1,000, we can make it.
I'm trying to figure out how to prevent it from happening.
Somehow Wilton returned. That's what you do.
He starts as a tiny little spore.
Are we starting a show called The Lost Puppets?
The fungus. He starts growing back again. KB Hugs for $4.99. What are the chances of accountability from Disney C-Suite, Feige, and all the failing producers? Chances Sony takes their Spider-Man and goes home. Zero on Spider-Man.
To whom?
Yeah.
Zero on all accounts there, because look, as much as we might scoff at it, Sony does get a major help by having Spider-Man connected to the overall Marvel universe.
Well, if Sony stops making Spider-Man, it goes to Disney. That's the contract. So Sony has theatrical and gaming rights to Spider-Man. If they stop doing that, Spider-Man goes to Disney. So they can't take him, whatever that would mean, and go home.
Well, no,
they have to follow this.
Not doing it with Marvel anymore, just making the movies on their own. That's what I think that they're talking about.
Yeah, that's how I read it too.
Okay, so
that wouldn't happen.
Honestly, they could get movies of the quality of Morbius.
So but they are kind of doing that with the Spider-Verse films. That's not connected with the MCU.
They're good. I think the Spider-Verse films are pretty good. I like the Spider-Verse.
But Toby, Andrew, and Tom are all now connected with the MCU because of No Way Home. So even if you made an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man 3, that's still MCU now. Now, about the Disney C-Suite and accountability and all that. From the C-Suite, they're very interested in stability. But Feige actually could be in the hot seat. If Doomsday performs poorly, Feige could be in the hot seat because they have to launch the X-Men and keep Spider-Man going. And if Doomsday gets in the way of that, then big trouble, especially given that it's the most expensive film probably ever made. Albert, not a retro for 10. Earlier today, I wrote a synopsis for what I think Spider-Man Brand New Day should have been about, starting by renaming it Spider-Man Can't Go Home Again. It's in the post area of my channel. Well, folks, get over there and find Albert Not a Retro here on the YouTubes. Give some support and see what is the idea for the Spider-Man film. Wolf McGruffle for 509. Very specific. Waffles. I also got new glasses today.
Oh, well, it's a good day all around.
That's right. New shades. And Packy Protons for 5. If you do destroy the Wilton, you've got to speed up and get Shave the Lorne done fast, unless you combine the two. I don't know if the internet can handle those two at the same time. Do we let Wilton shave Lorne and then Lorne just ends him?
I believe that's called the Shorn Lorne.
The Shorn Lorne. Frederick Wilton's bro for 2. Hey, leave my bro alone. Yeah, I'm watching you. Always watching you. Packing again for 2. Also, people think Zendaya might be preggers.
Oh, well, boy.
Congrats if she is. What could be a better joy?
Yeah.
Chef Eddie for 5. Yes.
She will be weaving her egg sac soon.
What is wrong with you? That's disgusting. Let's talk, Lauren. It's been great having you on the show. This morning, you referenced Elvis's butt crack and spackled.
No, I did not specifically reference Elvis's butt crack. I suggested that if you were going to eat the Elvis sandwiches, that you would be spackling your butt crack closed.
It's close enough.
Oh, well, that
Lauren.
makes it better, Lauren.
Yeah,
Thank
way
you
better.
for explaining it. That makes it totally
and,
better.
And now we are 22 minutes in the show tonight, and you're talking about Zendaya with egg sacs.
Weaving, specifically.
Thank you. Chef Eddie for 5. Wilton could save the world and die locked in a death grip with Marvin the Movie Monster puppet dragging him down into oblivion. Kind of good.
Right here.
I could go for that. Yeah, I like it. Packing Protons for 2. Look at Lauren down there just giggling himself. He's so proud of the Zendaya egg sack. For $2, Lauren creates some interesting memes on this channel. Oh boy, does he. And the meta jokes, and then somebody comes in and has no idea what we're talking about. It's like, Zendaya's egg sack. Boy, that's just a lot of fun. That's an inside joke we're so proud to have around here.
What you're saying is our running gags make people gag.
Yeah, exactly. Patrick Ganaway gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships. Patrick, thank you so much. You're still, our Superman.
Chemical sunshine, professor says pay no mind.
And a reminder, Packing Protons is offering $1,000 if we destroy Wilton.
I do it for free.
Last one before we start, and that is because, folks, you all think that we forget you. You do. You think Pro doesn't notice. Lauren doesn't remember us. Marvin, DA, they don't. Folks, Maverick Pilgrim has been here since the beginning of the channel. Maverick Pilgrim has made some important trips over the past few years and sometimes joins us, sometimes does not. And when I saw this come in, I was very excited to see Maverick Pilgrim back again. Just want you to know how much and how good it is to see you. It says, have you all talked about how Spider-Man Brand New Day and Toy Story 5 are the same movie? About how screens make you lonely and you just want a play date with your friend. I think people are identifying with loneliness. So, okay, well, that's interesting. So the idea here is that Spider-Man Brand New Day deals with loneliness, and that is correct. I think it's more than that, though. I think Spider-Man Brand New Day is saying that you can't carry the load by yourself. Even if you're a superhero, even if you're like the best person ever, you have to have people help carry you too. Toy Story 5 is about Jesse. Let me think again. What is Toy Story 5 about exactly? Toy Story 5 is about... What, guys, help me out. What would we say Toy Story 5 if we tried to break it down into its essence? What is it?
Girls getting it done.
Cash grab.
Cash grab. Like, I can tell you the first 3 Toy Stories exactly. I know them 100%. Toy Story 1 is about the fear of losing friendship and the idea of being okay with the passage of time. The second one is about relevancy and what you do to maintain your relevancy, and whether or not it's worth it to jump ship from a friendship in order to have something that lasts longer, even if it's less sincere. And the third one is basically existentialism. Like, they're all going to go away and be put in a closet one day. Do you enjoy the time you have left, or do you try to do something else? Toy Story.
I don't know, but your relevancy sounds like a royal epithet, that the courtier has used towards the king. Yes, your relevancy.
Yes, your relevancy. You're totally relevant. We promise you are. Yes. Toy Story 5 is about a little girl doll that has trauma because she was thrown away 2 times, about to be 3. It's about the fear of technology. I don't know what it's about. I get it where Maverick's coming from. Maverick is because the little girl is addicted to technology, and that's causing her to be, or that's her way of escaping loneliness, is the technology, which becomes her friend, which gives her fake friends. Got it. That's where Maverick, I think, is coming from. And that's all I've got. It's been a long day. But I think people are lonely. I think that we have more.
I agree with that.
We have more connectivity than ever, Derek, and people are still more lonely than ever. Probably there's less.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I was hearing this thing about how few people lived on Earth back in the 1300s. Like in the United Kingdom, London had 10,000 people, and villages had like 200 people. But I think the bonds that you have, and I'm not volunteering to go back in time and live in those kinds of times, but the bonds that people had probably were much stronger than they are today. I think today, some of our friendships are much more artificial, and that leads to the loneliness.
Well, they also didn't have the massive government bureaucracy to quote unquote rely on.
Oh.
And I think part of the problem is people abdicating their obligation to be friends to that greater authority, and then it fails.
Be my friend, government. Be my friend. What do you think, Derek?
You said that we have more connectivity than ever, but think about it. Like, how many times do we say the internet isn't real life? It's not. Okay, connecting with people online.
Except here. Except here and on your channel, Derek. The totally real life here and on your channel. That's the only two places. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the point, right? Like, we're not, these human connections that we have gone through over the course of human history are, kind of being substituted for, talking to people on X or YouTube or Twitter or whatever. It's not the same, you know? And so I think people are yearning for that because there's something deep down, in the warp and woof of humanity that demands that we talk to people face to face, real life, make real connections, and that's not happening.
It's the same thing as the difference between going to a movie theater and seeing a movie with an audience versus doing it at home on the big screen. It's a shared experience.
Yep,
exactly.
And I think some people too have substituted friendship for the talking heads on TV. Not us. But like, I think people, because you can actually interact with us. We've got super chats, we do Q&As. Like, we're here to have a community that we are a part of. But if you're watching like MSNBC or CNN or Fox News, and you can't connect with those people, they're just, sometimes it's pre-recorded, sometimes it's not. But they're going to say whatever, and you sit there and you turn that into your human connection. It's like that's not enough. That's not sufficient. You're substituting the real thing for sitting down in front of TV because it's just easier. And
it's the difference between people who rightly call grok or those kind of things it versus those who call it him.
Right.
That scares me. When they start making it a real person, they lose sight of what a real person is.
Yep. Last point I would make on that is we've also denigrated the joy of children. People don't want to have kids anymore. People talk about, what a burden that would be. And it's like, actually, some of the greatest joys you'll ever have in your life are kids. Yeah, they poop their diapers. Yeah, they throw up at places when it's really inconvenient. Yeah, they turn into teenagers, and God help us all when they do. But you'll never have a relationship like you will with your kid. So it's a special thing. Or your grandkid. Or your nephew, if you don't, or your niece, or who, go to the Boys and Girls Club and hang out with a child who needs you. You'll build a relationship unlike any other. Packing Protons for 5 today on the channel. Zendaya joins us. A $20 super from John Cusack about. I don't know. We'll see. KB Hugs for $1.99. Lauren, how much for a truffle shuffle?
I would not know how to do a truffle shuffle.
Yeah.
We're going to look this up. We're going to find out what's a truffle shuffle.
Packing protons for
truffle shuffle. I know what it is. Yeah, I know what
You
it
don't remember
is.
that scene of how to do the truffle shuffles? He did it for us.
We're going to diagram this for Lauren so he can see.
Lord knows he just doesn't want to do it.
No, what I'm saying is that I know what it is. I have seen it, but I was actually not a huge fan of the Goonies, so the last time I saw it was like long ago.
Don't even look at the space you have behind you. That is a cavernous room behind you to shuffle and truffle your way to victory.
Or to Buffalo.
Yeah. Packing protons for 5. I'm lonely. Any lonely lass is critical drinker. Hi, Marv. I don't know how lonely connects with the critical drinker here. I really don't.
Packing protons asked critical drinker on Midnight's Edge weirdly whether or not Scottish girls were into guys like him.
Oh, sounds about right to me.
Yeah,
Stone Racket.
Drinker said you're welcome to try, but they might kill you.
I was going to suggest sheep.
Really? You're on a roll today, Lauren. You're suggesting that packing protons find a relationship with a Scottish sheep.
Embrace me, you sweet, embraceable you.
I mean, as long as it's a female sheep, it's not gay.
You. Stone Racket, member for 23 months. Pro opinion on Mahler's SMB&D.
Spider-Man brand new day.
I got to get caught up on these acronyms. An unbridled rage.
Yeah, so I will say I was so flying high on this movie, and then I watched FNT where Mahler like tore to shreds, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I see some of the holes now. Like that I just kind of hadn't seen before, but I still like the movie.
Let me put it this way. It's not that kind of movie, kid. It's not one of those that you're supposed to spend forever, poking holes. It won't hold up if you do that. But it's a comic book movie about a guy who, like, okay, you want to do that to Spider-Man? Where in the world does all that web come from in the contraptions he has before it starts coming out of his wrist? And then in that case, how does he do? Like he sticks all those ninjas, in the room out of this little vein in his arm. That's impossible. That's physically impossible. Like, if we want to do that, we'll unravel it. What's that, Luke?
I said it's a comic book. It's
right.
Not reality.
Right. Now, if we're talking about Godfather, then we'll apply those kinds of rules to it. But you have to understand the genre that it's in. Packing protons for 2, or is it lassies? Oh, you've got to go over there and find it yourself.
Lassie is an entirely different kind of animal.
Albert, not a retro for 5. Yeah, leave Lassie alone now. Don't go in the well with Lassie. Reboot Toy Story, but base it on Animal Farm. Not after that movie.
Animal Farm. It was the literal worst movie I've ever seen in my life. Is Animal Farm.
There's worse, but not many. Awful. And the toys are trying to survive being sent out to be recycled. Now that's a movie I'd watch, as long as it's not made by Angel Studios this time. Major Mike, 1999. Love your opinions and the info you put out. Thanks. Well, Major Mike, we appreciate you. Let's see here. Albert, not a retro for 5. Wow, my Caucasian cataracts might be bad, but I've never mistaken the DA for Zendaya. Verbal riot, sure, but that's pure. Albert, what are you trying to... Albert, you know what? We're just going back to this one and celebrating it because we got to get out of this awkward moment. Thank you, Major Mike.
Perfect.
You know how you could tell that Derek's not Zendaya? His face did this thing where it changed. And like he did a different expression than the one that he had on before. Yeah.
Listen, after that movie, we said we're gonna be nice to Zendaya, okay?
I know. I'm just saying, like if he hadn't done that, I might have been
like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Packing protons for 2. $1,000. I think we can do this one. $1,000 for Lauren to eat haggis.
There is not enough money in the world.
Really?
I'll do it.
What is it with you and Scotland, Lauren? You don't like haggis. You don't like the immortal guy.
You don't like bagpipes, and you don't like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with fried bananas on it. What's wrong with you?
Do you drink scotch?
I like no lighter fluid. I like Scrooge.
Hey, I'll eat haggis for 1,000. If we're going all in grift and I don't have to shave anything, I'll do haggis for 1,000 easy. John for 5.
It's good.
I'll do it for 1,000.
It was great.
Yeah,
When
John for
haggis is
5.
good. It's very good. When it's not, oi.
It's like oysters.
I've never had bad haggis, so.
You never met a haggis you didn't like. You and Will Rogers, I tell you. Will O. Rogers. Will Mac Rogers.
John for 5 says, try sheep. Just remember, no means no. Boy, what a night. Maverick's back again for $4.99. I lost internet for a second. It just caught back up. Thanks for your words, Pro. Love you all. Love all you guys. We do have real community here. You betcha. 100%. And then before we go into the first story, Albert, not a retro for 10. They say Star Wars is a film for kids and space wizard and laser swords. Mahler's response, that doesn't mean it shouldn't be good. Same with the comics book movie. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't have to be good. It has to be good. But there are different rules for the logical consistency when you're dealing with a superhero comic book movie versus something like Godfather or Citizen Kane.
Above all, to its own self be true, so to speak.
That's right.
There is a huge difference between the plot holes in Spider-Man versus the plot holes in, say, the Fantastic Four First Steps, when Reed Richards' plan is Patrick Starr's plan from SpongeBob, where they're going to take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else. And then when that fails, the plan becomes, despite the fact that Galactus consents the baby, we're going to put a fake baby down. And the plan revolves around Galactus stepping on what accounts to a giant bullseye and being dumb enough to do that.
Hey, Patrick, let's give him a fake baby.
That's a bad impression. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We've done Super Chats. We'll come back and get more. Yes.
A story? Ooh.
A story indeed. In fact, some might even say it's the first story. Spider-Man Brand New Day is not finished breaking records, especially domestically. Deadline reporting this from Anthony D'Alessandro, who, don't forget, missed this one big time and said it was second place back when it took first place for its first weekend. Spider-Man Brand New Day swings to $42 million Tuesday, U.S. box office record, biggest pick global year-to-date with $1.1 billion. That's right, folks. It is the biggest Tuesday in the history of North American. We'll hold our Canadian brethren with us today. North American cinema. Spider-Man Brand New Day has set more records, charting the biggest Tuesday ever at the domestic box office with $42 million. It's also the highest grossing movie at $1.1 billion, beating Pixar's Toy Story. Spider-Man Brand New Day's U.S. Canada Tuesday beats that of Sony Marvel's own Spider-Man Far From Home, which banked $39.2 million for its opening Tuesday on July 2nd, 2019. Notice it beat it by $3 million, which means, and by the way, without any IMAX, that it's outpacing inflation almost definitely, given the short period of time between those two films and the fact that there is no IMAX. The domestic running cum through 5 days for Brand New Day is $449 million, which makes it the second highest grossing stateside in 2026. For now, it soon will topple Toy Story 5, which as of Wednesday has a running total of $464.6 million. All right, so what does this mean? Well, Spider-Man's getting IMAX. That's happening. And that means we're probably going to see a drop for the Odyssey. Finally, but Spider-Man is doing magnificently, and it looks like this thing's going to have legs. Now, remember, we said that if this movie has legs, it's got legs, knows how to use them. If it gets at least 2.5x, it's going to be in contention for the biggest movie of all time. With the kind of Tuesday we just saw, it's possible this thing goes close to 2.8, 2.9. That is crazy. Can it keep the momentum? Well, that's the discussion for today. Let's talk about it right now. Lou, Lauren, Marv, DA, whoever wants to go first. Does Spider-Man have it? Are there audiences thirsty to get this thing to the top or number 2 spot? Ever?
I mean, so yeah, if it gets into the 2.9 billion conversation, then it's going after Avatar. at that point. And I don't know, man. I think it really depends on what this second weekend gives us, because if this has a minimal drop, or even, I mean, with the IMAX theaters, there's a chance it might make. Some people are saying it was going to hit 2 billion this week. I don't know about that. That seems a little far fetched to me. It would have to do another, almost $900 million weekend. But yeah, I whether or not I think it has a shot at going after Endgame. I don't know if it gets to Avatar.
I'm going to look up those second weekend numbers for those two films, and we'll get that out there in just a second.
Well, I mean, Avatar was slower. It took Avatar, I think, like 9 weeks to get to $1 billion.
Yeah, it just never went away. It just kept going and going and going.
Well, the problem, so Avatar made about 700 and something million stateside. It made $2 billion internationally.
Let's see. So Endgame had a 59% drop. Let me share this and get this on the screen. Endgame had a 59% drop in its second weekend, a 57% drop in its third weekend, 53, 43, 53. And what helped it out is as we went into those later weekends, it just kept holding. If Spider-Man can get anywhere sub 60%, it's got a chance. Now, this is domestically, of course, but this corresponds pretty well to the international as well. If Spider-Man can drop 55%, and here's why I think that it might have a chance at only dropping like 50 in the second weekend, is because they're adding IMAX. I think this is
screens at a premium price.
Yeah, and I think people are going to go back and say, well, I want to see it again. I want to see it in IMAX this time.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well, I mean, also look at, if let's say it just manages to squeak by Endgame in the end. Endgame is coming back to theaters in September, so it could feasibly take it back the way Avatar did to Endgame.
Yeah,
Endgame overtook Avatar, and then James Cameron put Avatar back in theaters, and then it took its title back.
Yeah, if Spider-Man beats Avatar, maybe James Cameron throws it back at us again. Who knows? I think we're done with Pandora.
We will.
It's got a lot of rewatchability on this. This movie is very rewatchable. I think a lot of people enjoy the ride that they got, and like you said, Pro, with IMAX, a lot of folks actually waited because there were so many sellouts all over the country in weekend one that a lot of people, you know what, I'm just going to go and catch it weekend two, and so that's going to really help IMAX a lot, I think. But yeah, I think this is rewatchable. I've know so many people that have already watched this, 2 or 3 times. So I think this is going to do insane numbers. Easily, probably 150 million. Considering what it did last week, I think 150, maybe even more.
And the obvious question is, to me, putting aside all the issues of rights and all of that, if you had a theme park and you had a choice between doing a Spider-Man attraction or an Avatar attraction, which one would you do?
Oh, if I had the choice,
right?
Spider-Man's the biggest brand on the planet.
Of course. Yeah. So that.
Right, and by the way, my thesis on this is that Star Wars could have been the biggest brand on the planet still, but they did the opposite of Spider-Man. Spider-Man did the opposite of them. Peter Parker has never been destroyed. He's not become some sort of lonely, broke hermit who people look at with loathing because he's ruined his life and his happy ending was taken away.
He doesn't get angry.
Right. It's not he's never been deconstructed, and so because he's an anti-cynical hero, people love this character. Now, I want to show you though that this is still not being handled well by Disney's Marvel. This is coming to us from The Wrap. Okay, Inside Spider-Man: Brand New Day, director Dustin Daniel Cretton's record-breaking, bittersweet weekend. Drew Taylor writing this. You see, this guy up here, he's the director on the same weekend that they release Spider-Man, and it breaks every record there is. At the same time that he does that, Disney comes out and cancels his show on Disney+. Disney and Kevin Feige could have waited, 6 daes, 2 weeks, whatever. They could have, there was no need to do this on the weekend. They did it anyway. People are noticing this. And now, Pajibaz comes out and says this, Tori Preston, Spider-Man Brand New Day review, Marvel just put Destin Daniel Cretton on a retainer already. In other words, this guy should be working on everything you've got. I think Tom Holland should be brought on as as an advisor on this stuff now. I think he's reached RDJ status. I think he's reached Tom Cruise status. He should be getting to give his thoughts on these projects.
Well, you notice what Marvel usually does with directors that they like is they sign him to another movie immediately. The Thunderbolts guy, despite the fact that Thunderbolts did terribly, he was signed for X-Men right away. And
Right.
I mean, even Cretton, he did Shang-Chi, and then they signed him for Spider-Man. But now Spider-Man is over, and they do not have another project lined up for him. His next project is not with Marvel Studios. He is leaving to go to Lionsgate to go do the live-action Naruto movie. So
Yeah,
you got to wonder whether he wants to work with Marvel anymore.
And that'll be a big win for him. Lauren, the other thing about this is, Tom Holland is not, as far as we know, going to be in Avengers Doomsday. I think, I've said it before, I'll say it again. They should be doing everything in their power to get him in 10 minutes, do reshoots, whatever it takes right now, because you cannot lose the momentum, and they're going to lose the momentum. People, if they go to see Doomsday and they say, well, Tom Holland's not in it. And I don't want to say the other part of this spoiler, but Marv knows the other part of this spoiler. Derek, you might as well. And how do I say this? Another web slinger might briefly.
I would also
Splat.
not count, but from what I've heard, there is an opportunity or there is an idea that Tom Holland may make an appearance in Doomsday.
Well, they better make it happen now.
The logical place for him to appear would be in a post-credits scene, but he's obviously going to be in Secret Wars, and we've already got the post credit teaser in this movie. Yeah, can I give this? It's a spoiler, but it's a minor one.
It's a lame post-credit scene, so who cares?
He's in space, so we know he's going to be on Battleworld. So I mean, even if he's not in Doomsday, we know we're going to see him soon enough. I don't know that it really hurts Doomsday if he's not in it, because personally, I don't think Doomsday. I don't think it's going to hit this level as Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Does that hurt Feige?
No. Does it hurt Feige if Doomsday doesn't perform? Yeah, absolutely. I think that Doomsday must perform. And if it doesn't, especially with all they've gambled on this movie, with the production costs and the giant cast and everything else, there's going to be some real hard questions that they start asking if Sony can embarrass them this way. Basically at their own game. One of the things we don't talk about enough, you remember that the reason that this partnership between Sony and Disney for Spider-Man and the MCU came about was because of the Korean hack that happened after that stupid James Franco movie. And communications were...
You're talking about the North Korean hack?
Yeah.
Okay, walk us through that, because almost nobody connects this dot. Do it, Lauren. Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't even remember the name of the movie. It was a stupid James Franco movie that was...
making fun of Kim Jong-un, yeah.
You're right, in North Korea. And they actually got mad and hacked Sony Studios and released a whole bunch of their internal emails online. And amongst those were communications between Amy Pascal and some other people talking about how they were having so much trouble developing content with the characters that they had under license, and sort of intimating internally, gosh, it would be nice if we could actually just work with Disney to create something on the level of what they're doing with the MCU.
Right.
And so they came knocking and said, so we hear that you're having some issues. Maybe we can work out a deal here. Now
and then
look at how
sandwich at Feige's head.
Right, but Pascal is crazy. Amy Pascal is crazy, but in a way, crazy like a fox, in a way. All because of this dumb James Franco movie, but look at what's come of it. Now Sony is embarrassing Disney at their own game, and that's got to look real bad for Feige.
I think so, and I think that's partly why we're seeing a little bit of a rift. It's just a little right now, but they're little signs online, just little reports that say Feige wants to take credit. He wants all and you got the director pushing back, and they canceled his show at the same time, and yada, yada, yada. But I'll say this is the final part of this, and kudos to everybody at Sony and everybody who had a part in this, Tom Holland, the director, etc. Guys, it's going to break $2 billion. There's no way at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, minimum, it's going to break $2 billion because
heck yeah.
I mean, it's going to 2x, and that's all it needs.
Yep.
So, guys, any final thoughts on what has made Spider-Man be so special and do this? And by the way, destroy the Odyssey. So hip hooray for that.
So, I mean, this is a character that people have a lot of affection for. In the mid 90s, we had the Spider-Man cartoon on Fox, and then they followed that up within a few years with the Spider-Man movie. And those movies redefined what a blockbuster was. While X-Men may have come first, Spider-Man 1 kicked off the superhero genre. And it became a phenomenon, and it's never stopped being a phenomenon. Even the bad Spider-Man movies made money. Like that being like Spider-Man 3 or Amazing Spider-Man 2, even the ones that ended franchises were still profitable. It was just the creative that had to be changed. So yeah, this is a very special character. It's one of the top 3 superheroes in the world, and they actually they have a likable actor who never goes out there and does stupid interviews and say stupid things and do
he spoils stuff sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean people find that adorable.
But he never comes out and says, I have this opinion about Trump and I'd like to share it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or he's not, he's not going to like rallies and stuff like that. He's not dancing at the No Kings rally with Pedro. Like, he's not doing any of that stuff. And so people have a genuine affection for this character. And I honestly think that the way they played this up, because, people loved Tony Stark so much. And I feel like because Tony Stark cared so much about Peter Parker in those movies before he died, that when Tony Stark died, all of that affection that people had for Iron Man went on to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And that's why he's the only blockbuster character that they have left, and Disney doesn't own him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing, when you talked about it destroying the Odyssey on paper had a big audience problem, which is, how do I get a general audience interested in some Greek mythology thing that they've never really examined or heard of? And they solved it with perhaps the aid of all the stunt casting and the rest of it. So I don't think it's the same audience. I think Spider-Man automatically has a wider audience and is reaping the rewards thereof.
Well, the Odyssey, this is what's so interesting about it. The Odyssey, we've been told now, has $1 billion break even because Christopher Nolan gets 20% of the film's grosses after a certain point. Valiant Renegade's broken this down.
Yeah.
The Odyssey still is not at break even. And if Spider-Man comes in and takes a bunch of the IMAX away, that changes the whole game. Nobody's going to see the Odyssey in regular theaters. That's just not happening. Just something to think about. Looks like Derek has stepped away. If Derek's there, I'll give... DA, let me give you the final word on all of this, please. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
I just think that Sony's done a really good job ever since they've gotten the character of Spider-Man. They get the character. He's very relatable, which is why people like him. Even regardless of what version of Spider-Man you get, he's likable. He's relatable. He's going through the same type of problems that we all go through. He's a kid going to school. He's trying to get the girlfriend. He's trying to get some money. He has a part-time job. And at the same time, he has a lot of responsibilities that he has to hold up with. And I think that's something that everybody can relate to, which is why Spider-Man always works. Batman, he's a billionaire. It's like we don't really relate with Batman the same way, or Superman, who's an alien from another planet. But Peter Parker feels like one of us. And I think that's the reason why this character works as well as he does.
All right, folks, let's see what you all have to say. John for 5, happy 40th birthday to Stand By Me. Oh, darling, 40th birthday, making me feel old here, and that's 40 years old. We got Packy Protons for 2, still on syndication after tonight, Pro. You better believe it, because we know how to get around town when it comes to the kind of things that Lauren will drop on us sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Elvis's butt crack. Come on.
A loose cannon.
Look at that guy down there. He's unleashed.
Is the loose cannon the nickname for Elvis's? Anyway.
Oh. Not based on how Lauren said he died. No, it was not the loose cannon. It was the clogged cannon, apparently. How many feet of colon did you say, Lauren?
16.
Good Lord. Is that real?
I know that
he died on the toilet.
I don't know if it was actually 16. I know that it was a lot. It was impressive in its... Well, let's just say it was impressive.
I really appreciate that you realized that how bad that would sound for a clip. Packy Brothers for 2. Miss Rachel meets SpongeBob.
Oh my God.
Oh, hi, I'm Miss Rachel, and you're a sponge. I know what that's for.
John for 10. Isn't it all so tedious. A good movie and grand success must be measured by inch, compared to a bad movie and marginal meh, measured by yard. An attempt to tip the cultural scales. Lauren, I saw you down there. What were you trying to get on?
I don't like that at all.
What?
That voice. Don't
Miss
don't do
Rachel?
that. Yeah, I don't like it.
You ever seen her? You ever watched her?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of clips of her. I don't like it. Please don't do it anymore.
Okay. All right. We got $350 here. What is this? I haven't even read it yet. What has he done? Let's see. Packing protons for $350.
Oh my.
The pressure is now on for either Steve or someone who hates haggis. Have a few extra funds this month, so willing to spend for content channel advertisement. Okay, hang on a second. Let me look up and see haggis. How do I get haggis? Let's see. Oh, that does not look pleasant. Oh, I'm going to regret this. Darn you all. All right, so we can order Jolly Posh Food Scottish Haggis.
I thought you were going to go to DoorDash.
I'm nervous to do DoorDash on this.
It's a sheep stomach stuffed with beef and barley. What's there to really be afraid of?
Well, hang on a second. I'll show you the first thing that popped up when I pulled this up on hey, let's eat some haggis, right? This is what popped up first. Yeah, that just doesn't.
Yeah.
That's sheep stomach.
It's awful. OFFAL.
All right, let me make a note of this. I have to eat haggis on a show coming up. You know what? I am not afraid. It's going to be good. I mean, why else would they eat it? Unless it's like for a dare that they put out there every single year. What dare you to eat that sheep stomach? Or it'd be stomach. That's how they'd say it. All right, packing protons. I guess we'll play your clip and celebrate the suffering my stomach is about to go through. But and that's not even to say the sheep stomach, which will be far the worse, I would say. Thank you, packing.
What are those?
These are my Spider-Man pajamas.
Let me rephrase that. Why are you wearing those?
Because my He-Man pajamas are in the laundry.
But now, wait a minute. Packing, do I have to... Do we eat this live? Do we eat this on a member-exclusive video? Lauren and Apollo, you tell us. How do I eat the haggis? $350 though.
Usually you use a fork.
I was thinking chopsticks. You just cross culture.
I would argue as quickly as possible.
I'm noting here that he offered $1,000 and then he dropped to $350 to eat the haggis. So
notice that, did you?
I have to nibble maybe. What, Marv?
I think he's building toward it. I don't think it's
he's not done
complete yet. Yeah, he's not done.
Starting the haggis ball rolling, as they say.
I was gonna say for a set amount of money you could eat the death nut, but that could kill you. So
the death nut?
You've never heard of so the death nut is it's a peanut and it's coated with the spiciest spice known to. Actually, Pro could probably do it.
Why?
I would probably die if I ate the death nut.
What is this show turning into? We're gonna be eating ghost peppers, all of us, for $30.
Hold on. Let me see what the Scoville count is on the death nut.
I can only do a mill. I can't go above a mill on the Scoville.
You do realize I am who's judged
16 million.
Contest.
Yeah.
It's what?
The death nut is 16 million Scoville.
So it's 16 times hotter than my max where I don't go past. Okay, well, that sounds good.
We're going to have to...
Beardo did the chip, I think.
We're going to have to start another channel called Lukewarm Ones.
Lukewarm ones, not the hot ones. The Musing Ox for $5. I think this is the Marvel mentality. Doomsday, out with the old. Battle World, in with the new. Tom Holland Spider-Man is part of the new.
You could probably do the chip, bro. The chip is 1.4 million.
So the problem with the chip is I knew somebody who did the chip one time and it paralyzed them for a day. And I think that might be counterproductive to my...
Yeah.
Lauren's finally so happy. He's so happy at the idea Pro's going to have to get paralyzed by a chip. Look at it.
Have milk handy. That's all I can say. Have lots of milk candy.
Packing protons for 2. Does Spidey break 4 billion? Nope. Nope. We've got John for 5. I'm sorry, James Franco is forever relegated in my mind to the guy who cheated with a certain actress obsessed with dogs stepping on bees. We've got Juliet for 2. Tom Holland leaves politics to his dad.
Oh no, is his dad one of those?
I don't know. I don't know anything about his dad.
Oh, sins of the father.
Jay for 5. Home now. Loved the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. So did I. Would love a continuation as long as we can get it from the universe where Disney doesn't suck. Not going to happen.
Well, I mean, no one's watching X-Men 97, so no one's going to watch Spider-Man 97.
Yep. If they ruin that, they'll ruin this too. Eliza is out there dropping 500 jewels and giving us some tulips. Thank you. We shall tiptoe sometime soon. John for 5. Wait, what? The average human body has 21 feet of large intestine? Some very much larger number of small intestine. 15 is nothing.
I think it was like 15 feet of like impacted
So
stuff.
I can't believe I'm actually going to do this. I just typed in, I'm going to ask AI, tell me about dead Elvis's colon.
I hate you so much. Just
we put a man on the moon, and this is what we're doing with our computers.
it's your show, Lauren. You do it. I'm not out. I'm not in
I'm
this.
going to start hitting on you again.
According to autopsy findings described by his personal physician, Dr. George Nick Nicolopoulos, and mentioned in several reports, Elvis Presley suffered from severe chronic constipation caused by a condition known as megacolon, or a significantly enlarged colon.
Isn't that the villain in the next Spider-Man movie? Megacolon?
Megacolon.
The colon was measured at 5 to 6 inches in diameter compared to the normal 2 to 3 inches.
5 to 6 inches?
As to length, it was found to be 8 to 9 feet long, roughly double the standard 4 to 5 feet. Impaction. Autopsy reports suggest the colon was heavily impacted with fecal matter, with some reports indicating it had been building up for 4 to 5 months. Cause of death contributor. While the official cause of death was cardiac arrhythmia, many experts, including Dr. Nicolopoulos, believe the severe constipation played a major role in his death. The Valsalva maneuver. It is believed that while attempting to have a bowel movement, Elvis engaged in heavy straining, known as the Valsalva maneuver, which placed extreme pressure on his heart, causing a fatal arrhythmia. Contributing factors. The chronic constipation was worsened by his long-term abuse of opioids, which slow down bowel mobility, and mistreatment. A colostomy, a procedure to remove a part of the colon, was discussed in 1975 to alleviate the issue, but Elvis rejected it due to embarrassment.
What do we do?
All of this just reminds me of the time I visited Graceland, feeling sad that this guy with everything so destroyed himself. What
And
a
his
sad
colon.
place that is.
You know, Lauren, we were waiting for something that made that worthwhile, like that in the autopsy they found a fried peanut butter and banana sandwich intact and complete, and you gave us nothing.
I think the birth of Megacolon was the new supervillain. They'll never defeat Megacolon.
And does he have a Silver Surfer equivalent out there chronicling his approach? That's what I want to know.
I like that Space Cowgirl says, Lauren's search history must be interesting. You have no idea.
I pray there's never an investigation into you because I don't want to see you in court. I'm asking you.
So when I was working as a ghostwriter and I was writing novels, I used to have to Google some like pretty messed up things. And so occasionally I would Google, I am an author who is working on writing a book, just so that the NSA would see it and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's normal. All right, let's
That's
see here. What do we
That's what they all
got?
say, Marv. That's what they all say.
Jay says,
the one that I thought I was really going to have trouble with was when I had to look up how to use fertilizer to do something that, I can't.
Oh, yeah, right. Something explosive, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys.
I was writing
Dear YouTube. Dear YouTube, please do not take down the channel right now. I've had nothing to do with this. Jay for 5. Also, the 90s cartoon did the Spider-Verse before there was a Spider-Verse. Yes, it did.
They did. And they did the Secret War, too.
Packing Protons for 5. You can still be saved, Pro. You only eat haggis if Steve doesn't want to destroy Wilton. Oh, well, I'm going to eat haggis then. I mean, we all know that. That's a big deal for Steve. Pack your protons for 2. I could only do 350. Only 350. Well, that's okay. I can only eat 1/3 of the stomach. So there you go. Blah, 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 blah for 5. Question to Pro. If haggis is on the table, will you try surströmming challenge up for consideration?
What is that?
Never agree to something I don't know what it is. We'll come back to that.
Oh, my. Fermented herrings in the traditional can, it says here.
You know, I have a strong stomach.
Part of the traditional Swedish cuisine since the 16th century.
So I can do fish sauce from like Korea, but I don't know about fermented.
Does it come with a side of durian?
I can do durian. I've done durian before. I can do it. Okay. Well,
I
fermented herring.
Wait, when you get to the people also ask questions, before can you buy it in the U.S. comes, what does surströmming smell like? And it says rotten eggs, rancid decay, and sharp sewage. I suppose that's opposed to the dull sewage.
Count me out. I'm good on that one. Pew, pew, pew. I don't think so.
You missed one. You went to it, and then you went off of it. After this one. What about Beard Meets Food?
I missed which one?
It's something about Beard Meets Food.
Beard Meets Food. Hang on. Let's see if we can find it.
Yeah, it's a couple of ones above this one.
Lauren, read this one for me while I go grab it.
I just tried to make a super based on joking about haggis versus spotted something, but YouTube denied me repeatedly.
Here's another curious fact about surströmming, by the way. You can't take it on an airplane because apparently in the can it continues fermenting and therefore it is potentially explosive. It is banned from your carry-on luggage.
And never put it with fertilizer. Oh. KB Hugs for $4.99. Time for a Beard Meets Food WDW crossover. It's in order. Bring on the haggis by the metric ton in that case.
Look, we have had some exciting guests on this show before. Dean Cain, Chuck Dixon, and I've kept my cool. If we ever had Beard Meets Food on, I would be geeking out like there's no tomorrow.
That's the one, huh?
Beard Meets Food. I mean, this guy is a sensation.
He's a legend.
No, I mean, like he posts a video within an hour, he's got millions of views. Like, and it's all just him eating things. It's like him eating like massive amounts of food. He's a skinny little English guy with a giant beard, and he can eat like 10 pounds of food in a sitting.
I wish I could do that, like chicken nuggets or maybe chicken and dumplings or, a little fried rice and just sit there and eat it. A million views. That'd be nice.
He did the death nut.
Packing protons for 5. Haggis eating would be live and worth $350. Rare puppet destroying is worth $1,000. I'm only eating 1/3 of the stomach if this is the way it's going to be played. 1/3. I don't have to eat the whole stomach. J for 5. My father's name is Colon, pronounced as the organ, or this punctuation. Or so happens.
Or the general.
To be a colon.
Powell.
That's right. Jason Nelson for 2. Being a member is awesome. Enjoyed the Southeast Game Exchange panel. And guess what else? We've got more genre guys on the way. So all kinds of member exclusive content right here on the Pro Channel.
Ooh. That
Indeed.
Sounds like fun. I think I'll watch.
I think you already did. All right, folks, let's dive in right now to the next story. We've got 2 more left to go. And both of them, I think, are just phenomenal stories that you need to know about. The collapse of the gaming industry is upon us. Really, truly, we're talking about it right now. Layoffs after Halo. And guess what? A big entertainment company being purchased by Middle Eastern investors. Let's talk about it right now. The collapse of gaming is here. Take a look at this out of thatparkplace.com by Marvin Montanaro. It says, reports indicate Halo Studios employees are being laid off. This matters because they just released a game that they were supposedly so proud of. Campaign Evolved, a reskinning of half of a 25-year-old legendary game. It says just 1 week after the controversial launch of Halo Campaign Evolved, reports are beginning to emerge that Halo Studios is once again facing layoffs. While Microsoft has not publicly announced a new round of cuts at the studio, multiple apparent Halo Studios employees have taken to LinkedIn in recent hours announcing they are looking for work, prompting widespread reports that layoffs are currently underway. And we're getting more confirmation of that. If we go over to Insider Gaming, Halo Studios hit by layoffs after Campaign Evolved launched by Robert De Felice, or De Felice, we don't know. Layoffs are occurring at Halo Studios Goes on to talk about the same thing Marv has got. We've got Nick Treatman, producer at the studio. He's been caught up in the layoffs, says this: after 6.5 years working on Halo and dodging just as many rounds of layoffs, it has finally caught up to me. I have nothing but love for Halo and the folks at the studio. This is just a tough reality in the gaming industry right now. I'm open to new roles as a producer, project manager, working remotely or hybrid in the Seattle area. Well, I don't think that's going to go well because, unfortunately, this is not great. Paul Morris was listed as a Scrum Master. Wow, what a title. Today, I learned my time at Halo Studios will be coming to an end following the successful launch of our latest game, Halo Campaign Evolved. So, listen, this is not going well. Microsoft, you know how that's going. But that's not all, folks. Today as well, EA has been sold. Electronic Arts has been sold, a previously American company, now owned by folks out of the Middle East. Alex Gurzo, writing for Geeks and Gamers. The sale of Electronic Arts is now final. Last year, EA was bought by a consortium made of the Public Investment Fund, or PIF, the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia, and 2 American companies, Silver Lake, a private equity firm, and Affinity Partners, an investment firm founded by President Trump's son-in-law and former advisor, Jared Kushner. But this is really going to be owned by the Saudis now. Saudis own EA. It talks about this acquisition that has happened, and now people are saying that EA layoffs, although not yet announced, are likely to happen. Jason Schreier, over on Blue Sky, of course he is. Jason's over on Blue Sky, of course, says EA officially goes private tonight, meaning EA will no longer be traded on NASDAQ. First time in 36 years. All stockholders of EA will receive $210 per share. EA will take on $18 billion in debt and $1.8 billion per year in interest, again, to be paid by the Saudis, which we know that means probably the Saudi government going to take on some of this and give them more influence via gaming. Lauren, I want to go to you first on this. You've kind of been predicting that we're headed for an Atari-level crash, perhaps. This could be the start of it. It looks like to me woke is going broke in gaming. Halo Studios is about the most woke studio there is. Electronic Arts has definitely been down that path before. We've seen the collapse of Blizzard, and Activision is struggling with them. They're owned now by Halo, or owned by Microsoft as well. So everything except Nintendo and maybe Epic is struggle busing right now after the era of woke. What do you think about it?
I see it as a positive. This is not the first in the line of this. It's the first time that I think that we're really seeing. I think the EA purchase is going to be surprising to some folks, but it's been telegraphed for a few months. We're in the middle of a necessary correction. AAA has wasted all kinds of time, effort, money for increasingly worse results when it comes to sales or audience satisfaction. Right now, they're going to be doing a lot of layoffs. They're getting rid of the chaff, trying to save the wheat. And I suspect that with EA coming under Saudi control, they're likely going to dump an awful lot of the woke stuff. They're going to be catering to what the core audience for their properties wants. That's my hope anyway. I also hope that they start getting away from all of the microtransactions, the things that I think that's going to be harder for them to wean off of because they do make an awful lot of money on them, but it also is really not attractive to the audience. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But if they don't have a correction like this, if they don't start getting rid of the dead weight internally, if they don't start changing their approach, they will have a full-on crash, and that's worse for everybody. So I would rather see them begin to make corrections and see those corrections be successful than have to go through 10 years of them trying to rebuild an entire industry.
You can see here the video that we're playing is just a showcase of how inept the people who made Halo Campaign Evolved are. Even the markings from when you fire on the surface don't function correctly versus the 25-year-old game that got it right in the first place. Derek, we're watching lots and lots and lots of gaming studios, especially those who make AAA, be in big trouble. We've got GTA on the way this holiday season. That might prop up the industry, but after that, I think there's a real problem coming, especially for PC gamers, Xbox, and PlayStation. I don't sense it so much for Nintendo quite yet, but I could be wrong. What are your thoughts on where this industry is headed?
It's kind of the downstream effects that we talk about of, what happens when you elevate a lot of people that don't really have, the knowledge or the wherewithal or the expertise to do the job correctly. You're bringing people in for reasons other than quality and merit. It's like they are ideologues. That's what we've been seeing going through gaming, through Hollywood, through everything else. So this is not surprising, to Lauren's points. Like, it's kind of where we all kind of expected this to end up eventually. Because again, if you're going to continue to just elevate and reward failure, and these guys, they're I guess they're giving you the right answers to the questions that woke Hollywood, or in this case gaming, is asking, then yeah, you're going to continue to see this happen to the point where eventually the industry collapses in on itself, and now they're getting sold off, and it is what it is. You would hope that they learn their lesson after all of this is done, because gaming is not going to go anywhere. The gamers aren't going to go anywhere. They're going to continue to demand excellence and quality in their products. So I just think this is, like what Lauren said, a necessary correction. We'll get back what we lost eventually, because the customer is always going to win at the end of the day.
And a serious question to you, Marv. If you're trying to find a job after this, it can't be easy if people look and say, well, you're attached to this game, this disaster. I mean, you guys didn't even make a game. You just tried to reskin an already functioning game.
Right. I mean, look, gaming for a while has been a place where you can fail upward. Look at Corinne Bush, the person who made what do you call it? The Dragon Age, the Veilguard, is now working for Wizards of the Coast. So, I mean, it is very possible to fail upward in the gaming industry. More than possible. But maybe I think that they're now starting to lose enough money, and China is starting to get way more involved through Tencent and things like that, I think you're going to start seeing a change. I think you're going to start seeing less people hiring Anita Sarkeesian and Sweet Baby Inc. and, trying to move on from all of this nonsense with all of these, woke firms that are coming in and trying to tell you how to woke up your game. That is pretty much what led to the death of this. It was a bunch of activist women, started ingraining themselves into the game development space. And then all of a sudden, the entire world had to be as ugly as them. And everything that everyone loved about gaming went away because it was deemed toxic. And now what we're learning is that their vision for gaming does not have a large enough audience or with enough volume to be able to actually produce results. And this is what's happening now. This is what, and no studio quartered it more than Halo Studios.
Well, Microsoft filled that whole studio with just gender studies kinds of folks. Mm-hmm. Lou, there's a sad part of this, and I agree with everything Marvin just said. They've turned gaming into an anti-meritocracy. Lou, the sad thing to me is that these companies were American, then they were purposefully destroyed. We've talked about how they destroyed it in previous videos. Now they're going to be sold. They're going to be controlled by China and the Middle East, and that's shameful to me. That America is where we export culture through these kinds of entertainment. This is an industry that's 14 times the size of the theatrical release industry, and we've shipped it out.
Yeah, except that it would be fair to say that in the case of the sexual politics and the rest, American traditional values are stronger in Saudi Arabia than they are in parts of America. As far as the things that killed it, those people aren't going to put up with any of that stuff. They just aren't.
Right.
So we'll see. Now, what interesting me is that they're doing these layoffs, quote, concurrent with the release of the game. Why'd they wait? The game has got to have been finished before this. And does that mean they're basically announcing, yeah, we know there are flaws, and we're not going to keep people on who could fix them? That's it. It's over. Goodbye. So
that's a good question, Lou, because the question then becomes, is this something that happened that was planned beforehand, that they knew was going to happen before the game launched? Or was the launch of this game a disaster? And now all of a sudden they've been given the mandate to clean house, because as we saw on Steam, nobody was playing this game on Steam. I don't know if more people were. I'm assuming more people were playing it on Xbox and even on PlayStation. But
numbers were terrible.
About a Halo game, but the numbers are not good.
I mean, it was getting.
The game are not good.
I don't have the numbers in front of me. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, you're supposed to have hundreds of thousands of people playing a new game like this, and they had like 10,000. So, I mean, they missed the boat by like 50 times
and
over.
Just like when we talk about rewatching with movies, how many who played it for a little while ever went back to it? Or just wrote it off as a bad investment and went on from there?
Marv, you live streamed it, and I think you did the prequel levels that they did brand new, right?
I wasn't able to do the prequel levels. I just did the beginning of the campaign. I was gonna go back. I was like, oh, I'll do the prequel levels next time, and now I'm just like, I would rather eat 12 peanut butter and banana sandwiches than play this game again.
Rather have a mega colon. Let me play this. This is
no doubt.
This is the new character they introduced on the right side of the screen. Girl boss, Lieutenant Williams, girl boss. Here she is, and people are finding ways to get rid of her apparently, and they're really excited about that.
You don't seem as impressed as the rest of your crew.
No, Sergeant Major, I'm not. Takes more than fancy armor and a good PR campaign to impress me.
You get part of won't be smothered. So
goodbye.
Wow.
The voice acting is just so terrible, though. No, Sergeant Major, I am not.
You can hear the sneering in her voice. Like,
well, in the casting call,
anybody would want to play that, or God,
who knows? In the casting call, it said, "Can you be obnoxious?"
Because the obnoxious lesbians that made this game want that character. Because
indeed, they do. All right, we've got super chats, folks, and we've got a special video we want to play for you in just a second. Hang tight, we'll show it to you. We've got John out there for 5. Wow, Packing values eating haggis at $10 less than making YouTubers see Minions. What are you trying to do, Packing? How's this working out? 1/3 the stomach.
I've never watched a single Minions movie, and I'm pretty happy. I've seen Despicable Me 1, but I've never seen anything beyond that.
Yeah, it's so fluffy. Jason Webster for 5. Great to see South Korean films, Colony, K-Horror, and Hope, action sci-fi, doing very, very well. Yeah, traditional storytelling, going to do very, very well as well. Paul Hard, member for 18 months. That's a year and a half. I hear Megacolon is quite the talker. He sounds like a huge pain in the buttocks. Watch out for his bum rush. That's his special move. Megacolon has the bum rush. Arr. John for 2. EA, EU, or UAE.
Oof.
Packing protons for 2. I can only afford $35 itty now at YouTube limit. Oh, because you've been giving away so much. Well, I can only afford to eat 1/3 of that stomach. I wonder how much haggis, like a real haggis, is going to cost to get to Somewhere Sunny, USA. It's going to cost a bit, I think.
How much haggis would a woodchuck chuck?
How much haggis would a hag? No, that's not going to cost. DL Racer member for 7 months. Sweet Baby Inc. and DEI consultants made millions in taking what we love. Who's to say we can't make millions in consulting commissions by fixing it? All we need to do is demonstrate a success wave to ride on.
So when you think about Sweet Baby Inc., I mean, how many studios that they worked for ultimately ended up closing because of the failure that Sweet Baby Inc. brought to their door? And Sweet Baby Inc. never closed. They moved on to the next thing because that was the grift, man. They came in and they destroyed and they took the money and they left and they laughed while the studios closed. That was what happened. That's what Kim Bel-Air brought into the gaming industry. And that's what Anita Sarkeesian brings to the gaming industry. It's what all of them bring. They bring nothing. They do not belong in the gaming industry. And because they don't want to be a part of the gaming industry. They want to turn the gaming industry into an extension of what they are. And what they are is heinous.
It's the same thing anytime you get these like DEI consultants that come on to the job and try to tell you that, you know, you have microaggressions all over the company and, you know, we got to get these things under control. And then they leave, they've made their money, they take off. And meanwhile, your company is just fighting all the time because nobody's getting any work done. Every HR is busy 24/7. Why? Because these guys came in and stirred up the bees and the hornets and got everybody stinging everybody. And at the end of the day, they made their money and they're offset, you know, and okay, the company feels good that they, you know, got a feather in their cap. Hey, we helped out, you know, diversity, equity, and inclusion or whatever. In the meantime, the company is suffering for it. It's the exact same thing.
Yep. Exactly. Consumer killers. Look at this, though. This is good news. Jeremiah dropping some great news for 5. Project Hail Mary on 4K comes out Tuesday. Amaze, amaze, amaze. Folks, highly recommend. Go get Project Hail Mary and enjoy it in 4K. It's a phenomenal film.
Yeah.
Love it.
Can't wait.
And Douglas Nutt for 5. That is justice for devs adding extraneous junk. Bombs away. There you go. All right, Marv, we're going to play a video in just a moment. But before we do, could you explain to folks what this video is, since you're the one who came up with it?
So earlier today on that Park Place live stream, Vash and I were watching a video of this. Basically, they built a DVC resort next to Fort Wilderness. Now, if you've ever seen Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground, it is this delightfully secluded, rustic, like everything looks like a log cabin. It's a campground. You could have an RV there. You can get a cabin. You could even have a tent there. People drive their golf carts around. There's boating. There's horses. The Tri-Circle D Ranch is there, where the horses that pull the the Main Street trolley go at the end of the day. It's just really a very quiet, peaceful, awesome place. And they have constructed a monstrosity right next to it in the bones of the old river country. They have created a DVC tower that looks like a Holiday Inn Express.
Talking about Josh D'Amaro and Disney. Modern Disney has destroyed Fort Wilderness, which was this really tranquil place at Disney World.
Yes. So this picture got released of a look at Pioneer Hall, which is where the Hoop-de-Doo Review is done. And it's where Trails End used to be as well, which was one of my favorite restaurants before they turned it into a crappy quick service restaurant. And it's just this giant, like, Holiday Inn Express looking building looming over it. And it just completely ruins the immersion of the rustic Fort Wilderness thing. So Vash and I are going through this, how terrible it is. I start reading the Twitter comments underneath the picture. And I said, okay, Vash, I'm going to read these until I find a positive one. I never stopped. We got to the end of it. Nobody was saying anything positive. So I took those comments and I remembered the Snow White videos that came out with the Snow White trailer with the mirror, mirror on the wall. And I was like, what if I took all these comments and ran it through a music generator and made a song out of it and then like edited a video to it? And well, this is what we came up with.
And Marv, you didn't take out the typos, right?
No, I left the typos in. That's part of the charm. People are putting out typos. I'm going to keep them in.
Folks, get ready. It's time to enjoy.
Nice symbolism between old and current Disney. Thoughtful, imaginative, adventurous, unique versus soulless. Cheap, corporate, common trash. I'm shocked at how these things get approved. Then I see who's working there and it makes sense. God almighty, that's awful. I'll be at the Ford in November, and in no way am I looking forward to this monstrosity looming over Pioneer Hall. I don't want to be that person that piles on, but this looks like the new university. Science, research, building. This can't be real. I refuse to believe it. Disney, we think you forgot a good coat of paint and a bit of theming. It's certainty a choice. Nothing screams wilderness like a badly designed, uglier version of a Hampton Inn. Why does it look like a prison watchtower? This is disgusting, and I am distraught. They blocked a quality in right into the most secluded part of the Disney resort. What in the Hilton is this? Good God! Coming to Disney Data Center Resort. Truth by Disney. It is so awful that I can't even bear to look at it. I've seen nicer hospitals. Disgusting.
I got to say, that was really clever by the AI to in it comedically.
It did.
Marvelous.
I put the at the end, and because I wanted that to be the punctuation, and then it figured out what I wanted. So
those were all the comments on that image, right?
Yeah, it was just about all of them. There were a couple of them that had like curse words and stuff like that in there, so I left those out.
Could have been even funny, honestly.
Well, I figured Jonas would never forgive me, so.
No. All right, folks, it's time. The final story is here. Let's talk about communist New York City even more. And this time, Mamdani may have gone too far. Has he committed the unforgivable sin? You won't believe what it is. Well, Mayor Mamdani of New York City, the second largest media place in the US of A, you know he's cray-cray and you know he's gone too far, but folks, he went way farther in ways that may be unforgivable. We'll tell you about it. We've got Tegan Goddard's Political Wire here, reporting out of, I believe, the Wall Street Journal, maybe the great lady. Mamdani is shunning New York business leaders. That's right, the folks out there, the media moguls, the tech entrepreneurs, the tech bros, all those who thought, the movie stars, that they would get access to Mr. Kami himself. Turns out that's not working the way they thought. New York City's business elites are long accustomed to direct access to City Hall, where even Democratic mayors felt the need to court the city's wealthiest and most influential corporate leaders. The Wall Street Journal reports that access is getting shredded by Mayor Zoran Mamdani. The mayor this week fired dozens of corporate leaders from the advisory, that's advisory board, of a multi-million-dollar philanthropic fund called the Mayor's Fund to Advance New York City. The shakeup marked the latest effort by Mamdani, an avowed democratic socialist, communist, to put distance between himself and the city's traditional power brokers, who are just realizing, oh no, this guy really is a commie. How bad is it? Well, take a look at this. From Pix, New York's very own, Mayor Zoran Mamdani sends cease and desist letters to Target and Amazon. Now, wonder why there's no Walmart? Well, because New York City won't let Walmart in. Mayor Zoran Mamdani has sent cease and desist letters to 40 major retailers, including Le Target and Amazon, over the sale of prohibited motorized scooters and e-bikes. It is the responsibility of retailers to only sell the vehicles permissible under New York law in our city, Mamdani said. New Yorkers trust that the product they are purchasing is legal in the city that they call home. What's this all about? Well, folks, you can't sell an e-bike, little electric motor, if it goes over 20 miles an hour. And the speed limit for these things is 15 miles an hour. And so that means that everywhere else in the country, you can enjoy an e-bike, yada, yada, yada. But this guy, the level of micromanaging that is happening, and the level of cutting out all the leaders who thought, well, we're going to get this guy in there and he'll do just like what we want. No, he's actually a commie. But he's worse. This is the part, folks, where maybe things start falling apart, especially ahead of 9/11. Dr. Malouf has this one, and I'm going to show you something you need to see so that you know that there are no shenanigans on our side. It says, terrifying. Zoran Mamdani, who again, remember, folks, it was the Mark Gruffalo the Ruffalos that came in. It was the Jane Fondas who said, you got to get this guy into New York City. He's got to be the mayor of the second largest media market in the country. Zoran Mamdani attended Friday prayers in a mosque where the imam literally called for the deletion of non-Muslims. I'm going to play this, folks, and I'm going to show you something that you need to see. In order for you to know this is not a fake out, just trust me on this. There's a guy here with a white headdress, and he's wearing like a navy-colored outfit. And there's another fellow with a brown-colored shirt, and he also has a white head attire, okay? So pay attention. They're going to be in the video the entire time. Just in case you think there's some sort of fake out or time lapse or whatever, that's not the case. Here we go. I'll play the whole thing. 3, 2, 1.
You know, last Ramadan, I was with many of you.
I should say this is New York City Mayor communist Mamdani here at the podium.
Is he putting an accent on?
Probably.
Procession on the martyrdom anniversary of Imam Ali, alayhi salam. It is a privilege to be here with you once again. I stand before you as the first Muslim mayor in our city's history, and this year as the first Jummah that I have attended in that new position. And to do so together, it is a reminder that in this month of Ramadan, as we find moments of reflection, of recommitment, moments of community, that we always do so together. And it is together that I am thankful to be here today, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity to lead our city. Assalamu alaikum.
You work not just for Muslims, you work for all of humanity and all of the residents of New York City. So we thank you very much for this, and we pray daily for your success in this journey, inshallah. Thank you.
وأسأل الله أن يصلي على محمد وآل محمد وأن يجعلني من
Now, let me just pause it here because you see that Mamdani is no longer in the picture. And you could say, well, Pro, he's not there. This is not the same time. This is not. Remember, navy, brown, same white, same locations, same chairs. This is the same service. Mamdani may not be in the frame now. We don't know for sure. We can't tell, if he's there or not. But it's the same service. Continuing on. Watch what the translation says.
والناصرين لك على أعدائك والمستشهدين بين يديك في جملة أوليائك والفرج فيه للمؤمنين على يديك وقتل الكافرين بسيف.
Now, for those of you who are just listening, the last words to this chant and the deletion, I'm going to use that word instead of Kill, and the deletion of the infidels by your sword.
And the religion of peace strikes again.
Lou, I go to you first. This is the second biggest media market in the country. It's second biggest in terms of making the media that we want to export all over the world. Mayor Mamdani has clearly gone full communist, but this ahead of 9/11 needs to get a lot of attention, and people need to know what's happening here.
Yeah, they're bad people. That's all. They're just bad people. It is not a religion of peace. It is a religion of conquest and of political overcoming of anybody that disagrees with them. You reap what you sow, guys. You reap what you sow.
Derek, there are going to be those who say, well, there are certain sects and there are different beliefs and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to leave that to the side for a minute. Just leave that to the side for a minute. What this is that we're watching the video, because what is an infidel? Well, it's a non-Muslim. So for Mayor Mamdani to be at a service where there's a chant that calls for the deletion of non-Muslims is totally reprehensible, unacceptable, and it goes beyond any kind of normal scandal for politicians. This guy is sending New York City to hell.
Oh yeah, no question at all about it. Again, you get what you vote for. If you wanted I would say a non-religious, candidate, you would have voted for that, but he never presented himself as such. And who knows if he was in that, meeting somewhere, in the back, blending in with the crowd. We have no idea where Mamdani is at this point. He could have been anywhere. He was there at the beginning. And now who knows where he's at. So
yeah.
Again, this is the thing I don't like about politicians. Oftentimes when they're on television, they'll just say what they need to say. They'll do what they need to do to get elected, to get the votes. And then afterwards you see the real them. And, a lot of people were upset with him, after the list of all of the,
doxing the celebrities, the movie stars, all the folks who thought that he was on their side. Yeah.
They all thought so. And now, they're starting to see the real him. And a lot of people, I think it was Scott Galloway, he had his, oh no, is this what I'm supporting? And it's like, yes. Okay. Everybody likes to, hear the words of the communist until the communist starts becoming the communist right before your very eyes. And now all of a sudden, oh, I don't think I like all of this, communism that I'm getting. And, he's right there at this meeting. So, I mean, what can you say about it? This is what New York voted for. This is what you get. So, maybe in the future they'll vote differently, but this is what they chose. And, this is what this guy supports clearly.
Yeah, the thing I think I said about it was, knock, knock, who's there? The consequences of your own actions is who.
Well, the other thing is these words about killing, eliminating, erasing, whatever is proper, your enemies. It's not unique to this service. It's a basic tenet of what they say and believe. These words are repeated over and over and over again. By the way, people who want to say, well, but it's just a religion, just like Christianity. Forgive our enemies is not the same thing as eliminate them.
Right.
Pray for our enemies is not the same thing as cut their heads off. There's a very definite difference here, gang. And this idea that, well, we have to be tolerant of everybody No, not when they're out to cut your head off. You don't.
Well, at this service, they're definitely saying that. That's definitely the lyrics that we've got here. Lorna, especially ahead of 9/11, I think that, this is just despicable. And we've got prominent officials and celebrities and movie stars and artists all leaving New York now. They voted this in, and now they're all fleeing. And I feel like California and New York are following similar paths.
Generally speaking, I think you've hit the nail on the head here, because when you are trying to judge the efficacy of somebody in a particular position, you judge them by the fruits of their labor. And if the idea is to make New York more prosperous, more able to provide services and justice and a better standard of living for the common man, which is what he was kind of running on, then you have to ask yourself, is that what we're getting? And instead, what you're getting is businesses fleeing, celebrities fleeing, the tax base fleeing, and him attending a service like this before 9/11, which on its face, especially for New York, should be considered offensive. I don't even want to get into judging the religion, because that's a whole separate thing. And I think all you have to do is look at what the guy is actually doing versus what he promised. And I think there's some people that haven't figured out that yet. But I think that the free grocery store experiment or the low-cost grocery store experiment is going to teach them real quickly that you're chasing business out. And when you do that, when you are competing on a level that is not fair, you're technically forcing your competitors out because they can't compete at the price that you can as a government. When you only have one choice, that's what you get if you're lucky. And that's going to wake some people up, I hope.
Yeah, I obviously, you guys know I'm from New Jersey originally. I was in high school.
Really?
When,
Your accent doesn't give it away at all.
Yeah, no, it does not at all. I was in high school when 25 years ago when all this happened, and I remember being our history teacher telling us what happened, and I remember going to the counselor's office at lunch, and he had the TV on and seeing it for the first time. And if I could think to myself that 25 years later, the New York City would be in the grip of a guy who is going to a service like this, where they are saying the kinds of things that were said, to justify this unspeakable act of horror and terror, that most of this, these democratic socialists are campaigning with a guy like, what's his name? The influencer.
El Sayed?
No, the one that shocks his dog.
Hassan
Piker.
Piker.
Yeah.
Hassan Piker.
Hassan Piker, who said that America deserved this. The fact that all it would take is 25 years for us to completely forget that moment. I remember going to church that Sunday, and just the church was packed full, and everyone stood up at the end of that service and sang "God Bless America" together. And I still get chills thinking about that moment. We were in the shadow of New York City at that point, and now here we are 25 years later. No one remembers it. No one thinks about it. No one honors these people who died. There is a petition that has tens of thousands of signatures to bar this man from this ceremony, and he has said that he will be there no matter what. And he's not going there to honor anybody. He is going there to make the statement that he is going to be the one standing up there. This is a horror show,
and
I cannot believe
the graves of the dead.
I cannot believe that this city that I loved since I was a child, that I watched pick itself up out of the dirt, with Mayor Giuliani and all of New York coming together as one people for the first time to truly say, we will not be scared into submission, to know that they have now invited the wolf into the flock.
They've tried to incarcerate Giuliani. I mean, that's their.
Oh, yeah.
They've tried to bankrupt him because of political differences. Now you can dislike Giuliani's politics, but trying to bankrupt him and incarcerate him, we didn't used to do those things. Derek, the fascinating thing to me about this, of course, is the damage it's going to do to New York as an entertainment, location. I cannot imagine. Let's say that every media company that's there just stays there. Okay. I have no idea why Fox News, for example, wants to stay there, but let's say they do. I could not imagine any company right now saying, hey, we should go to New York. Hey, we should be located in NYC. Hey, we should move our headquarters to so at the very least, I can't imagine anybody going into this until this guy is out. I think that, he's only been there for how long?
Remember what opened this week? Y'all Street opened this week. The Texas Stock Exchange.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, no, you're right, bro. Look, I mean, he's putting out lists of people, that make money. Why would you voluntarily move into that city? Everybody's moving out, and once those tax dollars leave, they're not coming back. All right. The only way you're going to get that money back is by taxing the people that are still there, that are stuck there, and they have nowhere else to go. And that's you, middle class people in New York. You're the ones that are going to be left holding the bill for the, communist run grocery stores and all these other wacky, crazy ideas. He's about to burn NYC to the ground.
They're already
figuratively, of course. I mean, he's not going to succeed, because the thing about it is communism never works. Okay. Socialism never works.
But he could turn this into Detroit, DA.
Or Seattle. Or Portland.
It doesn't work anywhere. Okay. You see what Katie Wilson's going through in Seattle. I mean, it just doesn't work. And you just run all the money out.
Yep.
Look, the Paramount Pictures is about to flee to, Nashville, because of the nonsense that's going on with these guys taking, shots at them because of political reasons. So the thing about it is once these people are locked into their ideology, and the ideology comes above everything. They don't think about the second, third, and fourth order effects of what it is that they're doing. And so Mamdani, it sounds good on paper, free groceries, free bus rides, free this, free that, or whatever, not free, but discounted groceries. Everything sounds good on paper, but then when you actually put it into practice, you see what you get. So I don't get it. I don't understand it myself. But I studied history enough to know that this is how this ends. I know how this ends.
It took 100 million lives the last century. I think that's plenty for me.
His people are already starting to say things about landlords and stuff like that. And I knew somebody who escaped from communist China, basically had to swim for it to get to Hong Kong. And his father was a landlord, and they arrested him and took him away for the crime of being a landlord.
Yep.
Yeah. This is what they want. They want to seize the means of production. They want to seize property. I mean, they're not being coy about it. They're saying it. That's the thing. Bill Maher is now like, guys, Bill Maher said to JD Vance, if these democratic socialists are still on the ballot, my vote is in play.
Yeah, and I wanted to play that. We can never play those clips because they always get copyright.
And Marv, you talked about
James Carver, James
Carville.
Carville,
James Carville. He said, "I will not be in the same party as Hassan Piker." And if you're going to keep working with Hassan Piker, you're not working with James Carville.
And Marv, you talked about your experience in high school during this. My experience in elementary school, I will never forget. My brother and I and my mother and father all watching President Kennedy during the Cuban crisis. Missile crisis on TV, a Democrat. And he knew the difference. They don't anymore.
Right.
They just don't.
And that's very, very unfortunate that this party has moved so far to the left. It's going to have an effect on the entertainment, the economy, everything in NYC. And I think it's going to drive out so much of people sing songs about New York. It's synonymous with the idea of entertainment. It's Sinatra's city, right? Boy, no more. Lauren, I'll give the final word as somebody who understands what's going on in places like Seattle. What's your take on the effect of this and where this is going?
Nowhere good. I think that the left are so desperate to hang on to power that they have made a devil's bargain. Their justification is that they have to have the number of seats that they require to try and push back against the Trump administration, that they have widened their tent, so to speak, so far that they no longer care what standards they're enforcing. They only care about winning. And that means that they are going to be eaten from the inside by these democratic socialists, these communists, these leftists. Yep. And in places like where I'm at, Washington State, it means essentially we are going to chase out all business. That is happening here. It's happening in California. It's happening in New York. No good comes of this. And bear in mind as well, when those people with the capability to flee do go to those states that won't be so punitive with their taxes and with the regulations, they tend to bring their politics with them. So it's a little bit like having an infestation of termites that just eats out all of the wood that supports the structure around you. It collapses and they move on to continue to rapaciously feast on structures elsewhere. So at a certain point, people have got to wake up and put a stop to this. I pray that can happen before it gets violent, because that will happen eventually when people get desperate. We actually have to come to our senses and say, enough is enough. We have to have some kind of standards. And those most important standards are buying into the American experiment, understanding that capitalism is at the core of what we do, and having solidarity with the nation that gives you all of these bounties that have been granted by the capitalistic system. If you're not into that, we're not interested in having you here.
Yeah, and I would say too that as we get ready to do a postmortem on all of the damage, we need to remember who brought the damage to these cities. We need to remember that it's the Mark Ruffalo's, the Jane Fondas, and so many more in Hollywood who they come in and they say, you need this, you got to get this, you got to have this guy, it's going to make all your dreams come true, the utopia is on the way. And then they go back to their homes. And average New Yorkers, average residents of Seattle, they're the ones who suffer under this. And the suffering from this is not all over the country. And that means people are going to be leaving to other places in the country. So will entertainment and show business.
I don't get it. You see, phase 1, collect underpants. Phase 2, phase 3, profit.
We'll stick together, huh? Huh? No matter how cruel and how mindlessly painful the consequences!
Do it live! I'm Bill. We will. All right, folks, look at those super chats out of here. And we've got 6 more to go. Let's see what we got. Paul 12,000 for 2. You guys seen the J Paradise page on Facebook? I have not. I don't know anything about it. You'll have to tell us what it is, Paul. Clueless on that one right now. John for 10. My favorited Reddit to song lyrics video is about Columbus coming to America and seeing beautiful native women. 10 out of 10 would colonize again was the top comment. Oh my. Oh my. Cherokee's out there for 2. W. Hang on. W said that Islam is peace 1 week after 9/11. Yeah, that's what Dick Cheney told me to say, and Rumsfeld backed me up. Got John for 5. Due to invasion of Spain's Ceuta? Ceuta?
Did you see that? The southern border of Spain?
I did. The 30,000 guys swimming across. Yeah, crazy. There are Catholic figures calling for...
They let them all in, too.
And by the way, all young military-age men. Yep. Nobody brought their wives and kids, did they? Don't tell me they're immigrants.
Did you see the cars lined up in Spain families trying to flee the area? And the roads were packed like it was a hurricane in Florida of families trying to flee as they were invaded?
Oh, I saw a meme that said, gee, Spain has fires in the north and border crossers in the south. It's almost becoming California.
Oh, Sean is out there for 199. It was so fun this morning, Pro. Getting those trolls. Oh, yeah, getting them good, I tell you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us for tonight. But remember, Shorn Lorne is surely on the way, and Pro will indeed be eating haggis, but not the whole stomach. No, because the 1,000 was not reached, so 1/3 of the stomach packing protons has had a heck of a night. And that means we're going to be all right, folks, feeding those hamsters. Haggis, of course. All right, now, before we go, we've got a clip-a-thon because we hit the goal, but I do want to say, DA, tell the folks out there, what time are your midnight shows? Because there's so many people out there that they work second shift, third shift, they check out the Pro Show, and they want to know when you're on.
Yeah, I do nightcaps. The nightcap is on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 p.m. my time on the West Coast, which means it's probably 1 a.m. on the East Coast. So yeah, come join us. It's just a hangout session. A lot of times I'll just have one topic. If not, I'm just talking to you guys in the chat. seeing what you guys want to chop it up about. So usually it's just a relaxing time. So yeah, if you're up late or if you're working the swing shift, whatever the case may be, come hang out with me on the nightcap. Might actually do one tonight because I missed last night. But generally speaking, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
DA, you got a link for tonight?
Might do one. I'm still debating.
Okay. I'm just saying if I could redirect to you, I would. All right, Marv, tell the folks out there about the M4 Empire, please.
Oh, well, every day now at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're doing the M4cast AM live stream every single day from 10 to 11. We're releasing 2 to 3 videos a day. We've got the M4cast tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please go give my videos some love. Hype. I know you only get 3 hypes a week, guys, but if you could spare a hype, I would absolutely appreciate it, especially this video that I just put out about God of War. My Spider-Man videos have been doing pretty well, but I tried to do this God of War thing about Batista possibly playing Kratos, and the algorithm is hating me for that one. So please, if you can, give the videos some love, and I would very much appreciate it. Oh, and you can follow me on Instagram at Marvin Montanaro and on Criticless. It's the same.
There you go. We've got Lou's Views. Lou, you said you just put up a new one?
I put 3 of them up, and I've got one more coming in the next day or two. And for those who want something on a regular basis, that ain't me. I only do it when I am so moved, but when I am so moved, I hope you will be there with us. Also, of course, we've got the genre guys that Lauren and I and Hangry do. And also, normally at this time, we would be moving on to the backlot, but because Culture is on the road, we will not do it this week, but next week for sure.
That's right. You can find Culture Casino at the FNT Vegas Hangout. Meet up and go say hi to Culture. Tell them Pro sent you. And finally, Lauren, you going to do a show soon?
Well, we've got the Lord of the Apollo show coming up on Friday, if that's the one you're talking about.
I heard about it. You got a topic yet?
We have not settled on it, but I'm always open to suggestions.
Suggestions. What about Elvis's colon, since you've crashed this show with it? What do you think about that?
I don't think I can get an hour out of it. I'd give it a
out of that many feet? Are you kidding?
He got an hour out of it, I'll guarantee you.
I was going to say I'd give it a mighty effort. One might say a heave, but
I get your thrust of the matter.
I don't think that it would probably be good for my health, so we'll likely go to something a little more audience-pleasing, I hope.
Well, I hope you can tunnel to something more.
What would be possibly more audience-pleasing than that?
Lauren, can you imagine the thumbnail?
I can, and now I wish I hadn't. Thank you.
Paul finishes the whole thing off for 5. A bunch of guest stories put together in a gospel-style song format. Real stories from guests and cast members. Funny stuff. We'll go check it out, Paul. Thanks for letting us know. And Paul, hope you'll show up on That Gameplays tomorrow night, where we'll be playing more Fortnite and getting more victories. We're getting pretty good at getting those crowns. Come check us out, folks. That Gameplays tomorrow night at 10:15 p.m., where I guess I'll be telling Steve for the very first time there's money on the table if he's willing to destroy Wilton.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put the lights back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So folks, as we always say, as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.
The other half somehow smell worse while stealing clearance aisle crap from the few stores that remain.
We don't have enough episodes for this.
CSI Portland. New series Tuesday at 9 on Pro TV.
We've made it through the night. Some of us. But we've heard nothing from the underwater team. We can assume deceased. It can't be.
Roadway! Roadway! They did it! Those maniacs actually did it!
Sir, they have done it. The whale milk extraction was a success.
Very well. It looks like the future is very bright indeed.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the inaugural televised matchup of pool noodle fighting here on XYZ Sports. We've got one heck of a show for you today with pool noodle slappers from all over the globe ready to show off their whacking skills.
These are two real champions whose hearts beat every day for the chance of glory and whacking noodles.
Security shutdown engaged. Security shutdown engaged. Backup security bears. Engaged.
Oh, shit.
Oh, he just went full air dog! That was sick! Now, kids, don't you think you played enough of that Canine Combat game?
Mom, we're fine. It's not like we'll grow up to be Hassan.
Canine Combat!
Digitized dogfighting action, only on 16...